Another long weekend. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
I call the Honourable Member Denise Roach.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Tēnā koe, Ms. Roach.
Tēnā koe, me te whare, tēnā koutou katoa. The Green Party supports this bill, and we support a good work-life balance for all New Zealanders, and we believe this bill will enable workers and their families to enjoy the full entitlement of the Holidays Act of 11 public holidays per year, every year. Under the existing Holidays Act, every 2 out of 7 years, those 11 public holidays reduce to 9 days a year because Waitangi Day and Anzac Day are celebrated on specific days, and when that day falls on a weekend, the holiday is not transferred to a weekday, so they don't get a day off. They don't get their full 11 days. 4 of the other 11 public holidays also occur on the day they fall. That's what happens currently: Christmas Day, Boxing Day, New Year's Day and the day after. And when these days fall on a weekend, the law allows for them to be transferred to a weekday, so workers get the full entitlement of those days as holidays. The Greens maintain that the difference in treatment between Waitangi Day and Anzac Day, from Christmas Day and Boxing Day and the days after those 2 days, is an anomaly, and we reject the notion put by some submitters and put by the previous speaker, I might add, that it will cheapen the commemorations of either of those very important holidays, as we've not seen any evidence of this happening resulting from the Mondayisation of Christmas Day in particular. Australia already transfers Anzac Day to the following Monday, so this is another area where they beat New Zealand. So they transfer Anzac Day to a Monday when it occurs on a weekend, and the day's commemorations are still held on the 25th of April. Even with Mondayisation, Anzac Day events in Australia are extremely well attended. The Mondayisation of Anzac and Waitangi Day might actually increase participation in the events that commemorate these special New Zealand days. This year, like many of my colleagues in this House, I was at Waitangi over Waitangi Day. It fell midweek, it fell on a Wednesday. And I'm sure other members that were there will agree that there was a much lower turnout this year than there were in the last few years. When I asked locals in Paihia and at Waitangi why that might be, they said it was because the day fell on a Wednesday. They said that they always had a much better attendance when the days fall closer to a weekend, probably because it becomes difficult to tack on another day to make a longer break, to ensure that they have time off to justify the trip to this important historic place to participate in the commemoration activities. The local businesses were really noticing the reduced business from the lower turnout, I have to say. Ensuring Waitangi Day and Anzac Day are transferred to a Monday when it falls on a weekend means that small hospitality businesses like those in Paihia will benefit when workers take advantage of having a 3-day weekend. This stance is supported by the Tourism Industry Association of New Zealand, which submitted during the Select Committee process, which I don't think Mr Sabin was present at. The Tourism Association cited a Mind Your Own Business survey, which was conducted in July last year, of mostly small businesses, which showed that only 13% of those businesses opposed the Mondayisation of Waitangi and Anzac days, and that over 50% supported the idea. The Tourism Industry Association said in their submission that Mondayisation of Anzac Day and Waitangi Day is an opportunity to increase domestic tourism. They said that those economic benefits outweigh the small cost to employers. The costs are not outrageous. Employers already bear the cost of these public holidays for their staff when Waitangi Day and Anzac Day occur on a weekday, and it won't be onerous. The next time Waitangi Day and Anzac Day occurs on a weekend is in 2015 and 2016, and then not again until 2020 and 2021. So employers will certainly have a good lead-in time to prepare for it. We have this idea that we are a generous people in this country, as well as the 100% pure myth that we continue to pretend is true. We also think that we are generous and laid back, and to quote the Prime Minister's favourite little word, we're relaxed about things. The reality is a lot different. It's hard to relax when there is no chance to relax. During the Select Committee process, we heard, and I respectfully acknowledge that Mr Sabin was not present for that one either, we heard from the New Zealand Council of Trade Unions, who presented well-researched information on what is happening to workers in this country. The truth is, New Zealanders work relatively long hours, and our combined minimum annual leave and public holiday provisions are lagging behind many European countries. Workers do need time to have holidays. Over the last 3 decades, we've seen the steady erosion of pay rates and working conditions, especially for low-paid workers. We have created a low-wage economy, and we hear countless stories of workers working longer and longer hours simply to make ends meet. In the last few weeks, I can point to several articles in the Dominion Post, the New Zealand Herald, about the plight of low-paid workers and their inability to make ends meet in 40 hours on low wages. And aside from keeping people poor, those long hours and low wages have a huge impact on families and on our communities, on our ability to relax and have a relaxed society. Long hours isolate workers from their families. How can anyone be a good parent when they can't spend time with any of their kids because they're working 70 or 80 hours a week? How can anyone volunteer to coach a netball team or deliver Meals on Wheels when there's no spare time to deliver it? It's for this reason that many faith-based organisations and unions are campaigning for a living wage, and that living wage has been set at $18.40 per hour for a family with a full-time parent worker and a part-time parent working, to provide for their 2 children and provide a decent standard of living, and to enable them to participate fully in their communities. Central to this idea is the ability for families to have time off, to rest, to relax. Workers need a break. Good working conditions, good wages, and enough time off work to rest creates business benefits and reductions in labour costs, and that's been proven. Ensuring that workers get their full 11 public holidays a year will benefit not only workers but businesses as well. It's good for the economy and for the businesses in the tourism sector. We support this bill and we commend it to the House.
I call the Honourable Member Andrew Little.
Thank you.